3, 4. The first one is a delivery type. Why do we need to enter a delivery type in a sales document type? Now we are talking about sales document type, right? ZMA or ZOR. Now why are we even entering delivery document type here? So if you remember your OTC flow, right? We've got order, standard OTC flow, and then delivery, and then billing. So this is F2. So this is sales, this is delivery, this is billing. In the configuration for a sales document type, why are we entering a delivery document type? The reason is, when you try to deliver an order type, you don't really mention the delivery document type. I'll tell you an example here. Okay, a very simple example. Now, when you enter an order like so, you have to enter the order type here, be it ZOR, OR, ZMA, whatever. Alright. Now you create your order like so. Okay. Now if you try to deliver an order, alright, like so, are you really going to enter a delivery document type? Just like the way we have entered sales document type when we created a sales order. Now you know how to fix this problem, right? You're gonna future date it. Right? We never entered a delivery document type here. Delivery is automatically created. What type of delivery is it? If you go to the header, this little hat kind of a button, okay, and then go to administration, you'll see that the delivery document type is LF. And where is this picked up from? This is picked up from this button, or rather this field. Okay, the delivery document type is picked up from the shipping section of the sales document type. So the delivery type LF in this case is picked up from shipping section of the sales document type. Okay, this is to ensure that when somebody is trying to create a delivery, they don't have to explicitly mention the delivery document type. It will automatically picked up from LF. Okay, that was that. What about delivery block? Let's place a delivery block. Let's say, political reasons. Okay, save it. Let's try to create an order now. VA01. You see, the system automatically places a delivery block, right? We didn't enter the delivery block. It was automatically picked up from this particular piece of configuration. Automatically set. You don't have to manually set it. Why do you want to use this? Which situation would warrant you to use this field? For example, certain business processes, when I mean business processes, translate that into your mind to sales document type. Certain sales business processes would always warrant you to block the document or block the process first, make sure certain things are in place, and then explicitly release the block. Okay, example could be an order type specifically for let's say, which business process shall we pick? an order or a sales document type specifically built for samples. Okay, evaluation orders or sample orders. Now you don't want to send out evaluations or samples to anybody and everybody you like. You want to make sure that you send out the samples only to certain business users or certain customers that you think are important. Okay, so all evaluation orders, let's say ZEV, should always go on a delivery block, and you customize that delivery block in such a way that it will be some ZX or something, some number that has a description, say evaluation block, and the order will automatically go on an evaluation block, and somebody who is the right competent authority will go and remove that block, and that will be recorded in the system as the user who has removed that block. Okay, it's just for backtracking. Alright, next we have shipping conditions. Let me set this to 51. Okay, just for the heck of it, some shipping conditions 51. Now if I don't set those shipping conditions there, and if I try and create an order, what will be the shipping conditions? How do I know what the shipping conditions are? So I go to the header, look at the shipping, and see that the shipping conditions is 02 standard. Right, now let me redo this order again after having saved this. Now let me redo this order. Okay, now let me go to the header and see what is the shipping conditions. You see it has changed to 51. Right, what does this go to show you? This should tell you that shipping conditions come from the sales document type. Okay, shipping conditions come from the sales document type if, and rather I would say, will override shipping conditions from customer master. Earlier, if I did not have specified the shipping conditions here, the shipping conditions from the customer master, which was 02, came and sat in the shipping conditions field of the shipping tab of that line of that order. But in this case, the shipping conditions at the line item level have overridden the shipping at from the customer master. A simple example again, take the evaluation order or the sample order. By default, the customer says, hey, you know what, ship me 3 days ground or ship me overnight. That's my shipping preference. So accordingly, you will set it in the customer master's shipping tab. Now if you are sending evaluation orders, you really don't want the customer to incur that overnight shipping charges, which would be, let's say, $200 or $300 for a big equipment. Right? The customer would say, why are you even sending me this evaluation overnight? I don't need to evaluate anything overnight. So in that case, the shipping conditions would be set to a very relaxed shipping condition, say 10-day ground or the cheapest possible, so that it suits that business transaction, which is an evaluation order, which is not really a customer's priority. We are selling goods to him, and customer, we are not even selling, we are giving it out to try, and the customer doesn't want to pay for all of the freight, isn't it? So that is that. And the next is immediate delivery. Okay, so let me set this to immediate delivery, which is X, okay, or rather A. Okay, let me set this to A and try to create an order here. Okay, let me set this to A, save it. Okay, and try to create an order here. 1000 as usual, M011, and remove the delivery block and then click save. Now you see what's going to happen here. Look at this message. It says May batch order number so and so has been saved, and at the same time the delivery has been created. Why? Because it has been set to A. Okay, or rather I think I did not clearly capture this, so let me capture this here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this field has been set to A, and this, because this has been set to A, the system has automatically created a delivery without having to go through VL04 or VL01N, any of the delivery transaction codes. So this scenario is called a rush order. Rush order. What is a rush order? A rush order is where you are forcing the system to create a delivery automatically without having to go through either the delivery due list or the delivery creation program. Alright, now when will this be useful? Now, the case of a rush order where the customer is waiting for the transaction to happen, or meaning customer is waiting on your front desk and saying, hey, you know what, release me the goods right now, I want these goods, I want to take them along. Okay, sure. So what's going to stop the customer from taking the goods? Well, in a standard order scenario, here is something that you should know. In a standard scenario, orders will be created through the course of the day, but deliveries will not be created like that. Deliveries will be created overnight. Via a batch process. This is VL04. It's a nightly batch process that runs once every night and takes all the deliveries that are due for the day and creates those deliveries. Okay, so order 1 need not be relevant, so it will not create. Order 2 is relevant, okay, it will create. Order 3 might not be relevant. Order 4 might be relevant. This is the normal process. But if the customer is waiting at your desk and asking you to rush the delivery right now, you can't say that, hey, you know what, we'll wait until the delivery process happens, which will happen overnight. The customer will just be pissed off. Instead, what you do is, you will not create a standard order like ZOR or whatever other order types, but you will create a rush order. The scenario is called a rush order, which is a fancy term for configuring the document type in such a way that your delivery will be created immediately, as simple as that. Okay, this is called rush order, and the only difference between a standard order and a rush order is that the immediate delivery flag will be set to A. Alright, so there you go, that's the rush order. The next field or section is the billing section. So what's happening in the billing section? Again, I'll highlight what is important: delivery relevant billing, order relevant billing, intercompany billing, billing block, billing plan type, checking group. Alright, these are our important fields. Now 5, 6 we'll see later. Okay. not now. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, we'll talk about them now. I would rather defer to talk about point number 3, which is intercompany invoice, but I'll just give you a highlight. But later when we come to billing document types, I'll go at a much deeper level to talk about intercompany billing document types. So what about the other ones? Delivery relevant and order relevant billing type. What really are they? Delivery relevant billing type. What is a delivery relevant billing type? Delivery relevant billing type means, you remember it like this. If an order has line item 10, which is a PC, and line item 1, which is a warranty or some service item, additional service, whatever, this can be delivered. This cannot be delivered. It's only a service item, so no delivery. Now when you try to create a delivery, only 10 will come through, 20 will not come through. Now when you try to bill, what happens? Only 10 is there, because this is called delivery relevant billing. Meaning, when you try to create a billing document like VF01, you will create it with reference to the delivery. The other way to do it is order relevant billing, which is, okay, 20 did not go through this delivery, neither did it go through to this invoice, but it will go in another document type or another invoice, F2 in this case, which is the same as the order relevant, but instead it will contain 20 warranty. So this is created with reference to order, and hence it is called, and it includes this line item, hence it is called order relevant billing. So thumb rule here generally is, a sales document type can have both service as well as delivery relevant materials. So for any invoice that's created with reference to delivery relevant document types, then you use this document type, and any invoices that you create with reference to the order directly, you use this document type. Okay, now let's talk about intercompany invoice. Intercompany, like I said, I'm going to briefly touch on it. I'm not going to go through at a greater level of detail. But what is an intercompany invoice? A very simple example that I'm going to take is US and Canada, let's say. Okay, so here is your customer placing an order for line item 10 with, and let's say this is a PC, and line item 20, this is quantity 100, and then line item 20 is like, let's say, what goes along with a PC, a special monitor, a non-reflective blah blah blah, whatever, right? Alright, now this will be delivered from the US plant. This ideally should be delivered from the US plant, because see, the customer is in the US. Somehow when creating an order, we found out that we don't have enough stock of the special monitor, and in order to get that special monitor into stock, it's going to take 10 days, and that's what we communicate to the customer. We say, hey, you know what, it's going to take 10 days to get the special monitor. Can you wait for 10 days? Customer sometimes might not like it, so he's going to say, hey, you know what, I don't want to wait for 10 days, I'll place it somewhere else. Or if you don't want to lose the customer, you can do something like this. Hey, you can say, you don't need to wait for 10 days, I have an option. We have a plant in Canada, so I'm going to deliver it directly from Canada, the Canadian plant. which already has the stock and will directly ship it to the customer. So the other company in the sense company code, as we have learned in enterprise structure, will ship directly to our customer. Now since they have shipped it directly to the customer, they will bill not the customer, but they will bill us. This invoice between two different company codes is called intercompany invoice. Okay, intercompany invoice. So intercompany's invoices are generally generated when the delivering plant belongs to a different company code, which is perfectly feasible because we are all part of the same parent entity and we wish to serve our customers. If we don't have the stock, we're going to issue the stock from a different company code, but in order to legally and accounting wise compensate for this sale, the other company code is going to issue an intercompany invoice, and which the customer will pay. In this case, the company which is selling to the customer, so they will pay for the intercompany invoice. Okay, the customer will pay that company. And the selling company will pay the procuring company. This is called intercompany invoice. Now don't worry too much about it. When we talk about billing document types, we're going to talk in depth or in detail about what is an intercompany invoice. Alright, so there we go, that's intercompany invoice. And billing block is probably very simple. You just place a billing block, save it, and when you try to create an order, just similar to the way an order block is created, a billing block will be created, a delivery block will be created, a billing block will be created, right? Now we have seen this example when we talked about sales order deep dive, isn't it? So hope you remember that concept from there as to what a billing block does, what a delivery block does. Okay, so I'm not going to cover that concept again. So here is a billing block and it automatically places a billing block here. Alright, so that is that. And checking group is something that we're not going to talk about now, we're going to ignore it. And same with billing plan type, because billing plan types as like milestone billing, periodical billing, so on and so forth, is something that we don't need to worry about at this point. Okay, now the last field, lead time in days. Okay, now look at this number 7 and look at this number here. Okay, now today's date is what? The 15th, and the requested delivery date is 29th. Why? Okay, this is going to be a little weird, because the system is adding a certain number of days and then proposing a requested delivery date. The system is adding a certain number of days and proposing a system delivery date. So why is it, how many days is it adding? It's adding 7 days, and those 7 days are 7 working days. Okay, those 7 days or 7 working days. So if you exclude your holidays or whatever that are part of your factory calendar, these lead time in days will be added to current date to arrive at requested delivery date. Now requested delivery date need not always be calculated this way. Requested delivery date can also be calculated, or rather entered, based on customer's preference. So it's basically at the end of the day a customer's choice as to when he wishes to receive the goods. If we are not able to promise, or if we are not able to procure the goods at his doorstep by that date, then we might propose an alternative date. But otherwise, the requested delivery date is based on the customer's actual request. But if the customer did not request anything, then what the system is going to do is add a certain number of lead time in days to the current transaction. Okay, and then it's going to produce a date that's so many days into the future. Alright, generally it's going to be like, these dates are Saturday and Sunday, right? So you got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then probably there are, and these are holidays anyway, so these are gone, Saturday and Sunday, right? And then maybe we got, now it says 2905, so there are 2 more days. Maybe there were a couple of holidays in between, depending on the factory calendar, or depending on the customer's calendar. Depending on those parameters, it might have excluded a number of days and then arrived at a final date of 29th. Now this is not set in stone. It can always be changed to whatever date you like. Okay, you don't want 29th, you can set it to 30th, no problem. Right, it will correspondingly change all the requested schedule line dates or the available schedule lines based on availability. So when we discuss what is called as delivery scheduling and transportation scheduling, which is a different topic, I will explain the role the requested delivery date plays in calculating the different milestone dates, like loading date, picking date, packing date, material availability date, so on and so forth. Okay, that about finishes our sales document type configuration. So go ahead, play around with all these fields: document category, sales document block, internal number ranges, external number ranges, item number increments, reference mandatory, so on and so forth. And if you have questions, as usual, please feel free to post in the forum. Alright, thank you very much.